You ever watch the finals of the pole vault for actual pole vault?
No, but I saw who won.
He attempted his world record height. He had his hips over it by at least 5 inches,
Wow.
and he came down on it.
So he had bad standards?
Yeah, he was probably a little too far back. I mean, their standards are like, it's not,
Yes, I
18,
know.
26.
I know.
It's like 70.
Yes, I understand.
It's a little harder to get up, 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, when I was searching to see if he won it, I saw something like a picture with his girlfriend. He's dating a fucking model, a
Okay.
Swedish model.
Why can't I say I'm not surprised?
Didn't know Swedish models go for pole vaulters.
Maybe.
I should see that. You should have continued on with pole vaulting. You could be dating a Swedish model.
Yeah, maybe if I was good.
Well,
To see if he won it.
Oh, what the hell is
I
that?
saw something like a picture with his girlfriend. He's dating
Oh.
a fucking model.
All it's been on recently has been like a lot of decathlon.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven son. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Phatts TV on this Thursday night, August the 5th, 2021. My name is PA Phatts. I am joining you live from Phatts Studio A. Joining me to the upper left portion of the screen from his underground bunker in Phatts Studio B, the one, the only, non-genetically proven son, who apparently likes to argue with senior citizens.
No, I wasn't arguing. I was purposely pissing them off. Something you would do.
You may actually genetically be mine. So, what was all this about, by the way?
So there was a post, now we're talking 4 or 5 days ago. There's a lot of student-run news articles up here.
Really?
One of them posted saying, yes. And one of them posted saying that Penn State was not going to require the vaccine. Okay. Legally, I'm not actually sure they can because we're a public institution. Not too sure about that. But someone commented, people are going to just die because of this decision. And all I wrote was, LOL, comma, sure.
Okay.
And then someone comes up and goes, so you've been in a hole for the past year and a half.
Well, you do. You are
a whole conversation if you'd like to know.
You are in an underground bunker.
So I responded, a hole with logical sense, maybe. And she said, oh, did somebody help you with that? Question mark. That's important. The 600,000 plus deaths haven't affected you yet. Aren't you lucky? And I said, I did think of that all on my own. How kind of you to ask, with an eye-rolling emoji.
First off, is this a dude or a chick?
Chick.
Okay.
And she goes, and yet you still aren't able to answer my question. I said that I thought of it on my own, question mark. Is that not answering a question? Because that's what she asked me. Did I think of that on my own?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh my God. And I said, well, that's not a question either. I'm confused with a... like a thinking emoji. So she goes, there's no help for the confused. I didn't think it was that difficult, but I should have known better. And I said, are you calling me stupid?
With a question mark.
Huh?
With a question mark.
And she goes, if you want to equate confused to stupid, that's your choice, but you purposely ignore my main point, and that says everything we need to know about you. And I said, you should watch my podcast called Phatts TV on YouTube. I think you would enjoy it. So I was just edging someone on because I was getting a laugh out of it.
I'm actually a little disappointed in you.
Why?
At no point did the word grandma come out of your mouth. Listen here, Grandma. Stop living in the 60s, man. The 60s.
Yeah, I wanted to go and say something about go to work, but she said she was retired on her profile, so I was like, damn it.
Stop living in the 60s. So what do you guys think of the non-genetically proven son here egging on senior citizens?
Maybe she's watching right now.
Maybe.
Howdy do.
Maybe. Nice meeting you, ma'am. Hope menopause treated you well. So, I wanted to start off tonight with just a little bit of good news. Good news. We officially today had the release of logo number 3. Number 3. First, we had the PA Phatts logo a few beers back. Then, when we started this YouTube channel, we started the PA Phatts TV logo. And then, a few months ago, we brainstormed and tried to come up with something new. Something to build the legacy of one PA Phatts whenever he departs for the Never Never Land, hopefully in about 40 some odd years, but it could be 40 some odd minutes for all I know. You never know. So we came up with Team Phatts. Team Phatts. Team Phatts. By the way, if it is 40 some odd minutes until I shovel off to Never Never Land, yeah, look right to that one in the upper left-hand portion of the screen because he's the beneficiary of my life insurance. So.
What is that supposed to mean?
That means you would have murdered me for the life insurance.
That'd be pretty impressive if I got down to you in 45 minutes.
That's what that means. Well, you could have hired somebody.
True.
So here is the official Team Phatts logo. Pretty sexy, if you ask me. It is sexy. Don't you think it's sexy?
Looks like something I edited not too long ago.
You're supposed to say it's sexy.
It's sexy.
It's sexy, all right. It's sexy. It's sexy. So, guess what's coming next? T-shirts. Team Phatts, T-shirts, hats, condoms, prophylactic devices, I don't know, GMO-style food, Phatts food. Ooh, that's a good one. Gonna have my own brand of food. PHOOD. Phatts food.
Tom says we'll split the life insurance. He's only 2 minutes away.
Hey, now. Just because I make fun of you on TV, on, Phatts TV here.
80-20.
Thanks. Thanks. So, let's start tonight. We wanted to do more of a sports topic tonight because we've been dealing, a lot of politics lately. So, the two big things going on in sports right now, you got that thing going on over in Japan that they have every 4 or 5 years.
What are you talking about?
Begins with an O. It's got a lot of rings. Got some fire. It's got some man not getting out of the first round of weightlifting against women. I think they call it the Olympics, maybe, I think.
I don't know. Nobody's watching it, so... Literally.
Oh.
In person, nobody's watching it.
By the way, Tom's apparently good with the 20%.
He's good deal.
Thanks.
Maybe his life insurance is only like $1.
It's a can of Simon Eyes. So yeah, how it's interesting how every quote unquote woke athlete is like doing kind of shitty over there. What a shame. Shame. All starts out with that awesome #1 ranked in the world women's soccer team. The girl with the purple hair.
The one that's old.
What's her name? Megan Lespino? Is that her name?
Something like that.
Megan Lespino? Lesbianino? Not that there's anything wrong with being a lesbian. I'm a lesbian. Are you a lesbian?
Sure.
What?
Yes.
I can't hear you. What happened to you?
What? Hello?
There you go.
I hear myself. That's a problem.
Well, you know what you got to do. Your speaker's on. So fix it. Fix it, dear Daniel. Dear Daniel. Dear Daniel. We'll fix it. Dear Daniel. Dear
Yes.
Daniel, fix it.
Good.
So, the wonderful women's soccer team started out with a great 3-0 loss to the Swedes. The Swedes. Then they came back and won a couple games, and then they had to play Canada In the semi. Well, they got past the Dutch on penalty kicks because the Dutch apparently can't kick penalties very good.
Right.
They kind of looked like a U9 boys team kicking penalties.
Wiser.
No, you told me they always scored on you in practice.
It wasn't hard.
Okay.
I kind of went the same way about 80% of the time.
I hope it was like the way you were weakest on to practice it. Probably not.
No.
No, of course not. And then they face Canada, who, according to Megan Lespino, says, "Oh, I don't think we ever lost to them." 1-0 defeat to the drunks from the north, the Canadians.
That play hockey and speak French. Nice.
And curling.
And curling.
Curling's important. And drink a lot of beer. They gotta
Not the
drink a lot of
moose.
beer. They do. They like moose. They have sex with moose.
Oh.
So I'm told. So I'm
Okay.
told. So I'm told. But, you know, the media was getting on the United States because how do we always show the medal count? We always show it by total number of medals. Ever since I was a little Fats, whoever has the most medals is on top. Well, in this Olympics, you know, the United States has the most medals, but they don't have enough, the most gold medals.
They are showing it like that, like the most golds.
China. I mean, of course we're letting China have the most goals. I mean, they own us. You know, they own us.
Hey, some like 14-year-old Chinese diver just broke the Olympic record.
I guess they're good at diving.
This 14-year-old girl is
I guess
She
she's
had,
good
like-
at diving.
almost 3 perfects.
Well, I mean, it's not too hard to be, you know, she's probably about 4'2", so it's not too hard to twist and
No, it's not.
tumble when you're 14. She probably would have been a good gymnast, too, if you think about it.
Probably.
Probably weighs about 70 pounds. You know, how much rice does a 14-year-old eat in a day? She's lucky she's alive, actually. You know, China had that one kid policy, and a lot of them were trying to have boys, you know. They weren't doing good things to girls back in the day, you know. Shame. But that's off the topic of the Olympics. So have you been watching the Olympics? I've been trying to watch a little bit of it. I like watching track. I like watching swimming.
I turn on track around 8 or 9 o'clock just about every night because it's on. That's about it. Last night, what did I watch? Some decathlon.
But
I like the decathlon. Heptathlon.
yeah. What's the
shot
difference?
put. Decathlon's 10 events. Heptathlon, I believe, is 6.
Ah.
One might be men's, one might be women's as well.
Ah.
I'm not too sure about that part, but I know they're different amount of events. Heptathlon's a lot more shorter events, like sprinting. I think the longest event's the 800.
I used to be a really, really good decathlon performer
Oh,
back
yeah?
in the day. Mm-hmm.
Tom's watching volleyball.
I was watching volleyball. The United States pooped the bed against Argentina.
I can't watch 2v2 volleyball. That's pickup volleyball. Just like 3v3 basketball.
Yeah, I don't watch two.
Pretty stupid.
I don't watch beach volleyball. Yeah. But getting back, I was a really good in decathlon. You don't believe me, do you? I used to win it every time.
Huh?
I used to win it every time.
What's your pole vault height?
Well, that was the one I sucked at because I didn't know how to maneuver the joystick the right way to get over the vault. Like I could never figure that one out.
So on a video game.
Well, yeah, on my Atari, I had Activision's decathlon. Used to win it all the time.
So what do we got? The 100 meter hurdles, the 1500 pole vault. You have shot put, javelin, long jump. Maybe the 200.
Well, isn't it all of the, like, go back to your high school track and field days and all the events?
No, It's not. They don't do the mile. They don't do the 2 mile. They don't do. Do they do discus? They might.
Yes.
They don't do like the 300 hurdles. It's not even a thing in the Olympics.
No, but the 400 is.
Yeah, it is.
In fact,
They don't do the hammer throw.
wasn't that... I saw that for the second time in the Olympics, that there 2 people broke the world record in an event. Like, it happened in the women's hurdles. The 400, or the 3 or 400
I'm always
meter
like,
hurdles.
imagine being told you're going to break the world record and get second.
Yeah. So it happened to a guy and a girl. Yeah. And it might have... I don't know if the guys' event was the hurdles, but I definitely know the girls' event was because I watched it.
I actually think it might have been the 400 hurdles.
Yeah, I kind of think it was.
Either that or the 400.
But anyway, be that as it may, it's almost done. But the sport we like starts tonight. In a little less than an hour, we kick off the NFL season with the Hall of Fame game tonight. You got the old Super Bowl matchup of the Dallas Cowboys going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. For those of you degenerates out there, and you know who you are, Pittsburgh is approximately a 2.5 point favorite with an over-under of about 32. You got to pick on tonight's game there, not exactly proven son? You're a degenerate.
No.
Really?
Probably Pittsburgh because Dallas sucks.
I'll take Dallas getting the 2. Thank you.
Okay, whatever.
One thing's for sure that we know about
Watch some old people play football. Meh.
about both coaches is they really don't care about the preseason. For years, there was a great stat on the Steelers in the preseason because they always play the Carolina Panthers the last game of the preseason. Always. You bet the under in that game because all they do is run the ball because they just don't want to get anybody hurt. So they keep the clock running. It hit, like the first 10 years that they played, the under hit 9 times, if I remember correctly.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And then a couple times it went over because they started setting the over-under line at like 4. Okay, 4.5.
What, you're saying it's like the Army-Navy game where the over, I believe, was 18?
So, with the beginning of the football season, that means we are only a few weeks away from the official start of year 2 of the Phatts Fantastic 5. What is the Phatts Fantastic 5 for all you new people joining us? Including
Something
you,
you
Grandma, that might be joining us?
Something you lose in?
That was last year. That was a bad year last year. That's when me and the non-genetically proven son each pick 5 games a week from the college schedule and or the pro schedule. Could be sides, it could be totals. And we go head-to-head. We see who's going to have the better record at the end of the year. Yes, last year the non-genetically proven son did beat the fat man. But last year, none of my systems worked last year. It was a weird, COVID kind of just screwed everything up last year. Yeah. So we're going to see where that goes this year. With the non-genetically proven son starting band camp in a couple weeks.
9 days.
Band camp.
9 days.
Tom says Dallas in the over. Yeah, band camp in a couple weeks.
Alright, I'm a video person. I don't actually play an instrument.
Question is, what are you going to do with the flute? Speaking of the movie American Pie, we might see that tonight. In a little bit. In something else.
Okay.
Something else. So, we'll have to see how his band camp and regular football, college football season works to see when we could go and do our shows. But if we can't do shows, I will post it all over social media what our Phatts Fantastic 5 picks are each and every week. if you would like to participate as well, let me know. Let me know. We use Barstool Sports as the official line website for the Phatts Fantastic Five. We take whatever the lines are as of noon on Thursday. So if you don't know how to get to Barstool Sports, well, figure it out. Let's see. It's www.barstoolsports.com, and you can get the lines there. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Makes
I did
sense.
it for a whole year.
Makes sense. When's your roomies moving in? Next week? Week after?
The one that I live with in this room, 9 days.
When band camp starts. Is he a
I
band
believe
geek?
the other two want to move in around 11 to 15 days.
Is he a band geek? Is that why he's moving in 9 days?
No.
Right. Okay. Time to move on. Rather quick show tonight. We want to go to the movie bracket now. We have the results of the left side of the first round of the movie bracket. And then we'll re-go over the right side first round matchups, and then we're going to call it a night because I got a little video coaching session to do in a little while. A little bit. So, let me pull up the right one. And let's get down to it. So as I'm pulling it up, do you have plans on like slamming any more senior citizens in the upcoming week?
I mean, if somebody wants to make a comment trying to tell me I'm in a hole, when I probably know a little bit more about politics than they do, like when someone tried to tell me that masks are proven safe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, maybe the medical ones more, but the little cloth ones that, 98% of people wear do jack shit.
What did I see a picture of yesterday? It was like a picture of underwear, and it says they can't contain a fart. How could you expect a mask to contain a virus?
I think that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, they had a point. They
do
absolutely had a point. All right. So let's get rid of all this. For some reason, it doesn't want to show me the entire screen, which is odd. So, all right. So we're doing the left side of the bracket. So match number one was the top movie in the Phatts movie bracket. So it's my number one all-time favorite movies. That's how we did this. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's got the best scene of any movie ever made. If you've seen the movie, I know you know the scene. It's not that hard to figure out. Non-genetically proven son, have you seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
I've seen the scene. I don't think I've actually ever seen the full movie.
Ah! You're not... Okay. I thought with you badgering the senior citizen, you may actually be my son. No, you're not. Nope. Nope. All right, so... that went up against the 16 seed, The Cannonball Run. It's a funny movie from the 80s starring Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, Catherine Bach, Jamie Farr, and a whole Roger Moore, and a whole host of other people. Very funny movie. where they have to race from coast to coast and see who gets to the other coast first. Very funny movie. I suggest you watch it. So, you think we had an upset here?
Probably not.
71% of the respondents went for Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
So 71% of our voters were men.
and like Megan Lesbino.
Sure.
The number 2 matchup, the number 8 seed, The Purge, going up against the number 9 seed, of Bronx Tale. We all know The Purge. Part of me wishes sometimes we actually had a purge in this country.
That would be terrifying.
Why? Not if you're not afraid of dying.
That would just be terrifying. I will be finding my way that day up into the mountains of State College where nobody will be there.
Sure, yeah, because no one's going to hide in a mountain of State College.
There's nothing there.
You'd probably have more luck hiding in the landfills of Birdsboro. Going up against the Bronx Tale, movie about, growing up in the Italian portion of New York City with Robert De Niro. Really good movie.
Oh, your favorite actor, Robert De Niro.
Nah, he's a douchebag.
I know you don't like him.
I like his acting. I don't like
He's a good actor.
his political leanings. So, do we have an upset here or not? Does The Purge move on, or does the Bronx Tale move on?
Probably because The Purge isn't exactly, I wouldn't say, a well-liked movie. A lot of people don't really care for it.
So you're calling for the upset?
Yeah.
Let me remind you that The Purge siren is the start of our show. You think that's losing?
Sadly.
I don't pick losers here. 62%, The Purge moves on.
Wow.
Yeah. The 5-12 matchup. I thought this was going to be a very interesting matchup. We got Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts is a pretty woman. She really is. Going up against the cult classic Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. We'll call it a draw. African or European?
What's the airspeed velocity of a swallow?
I mean, the movie's going to be funny when the first scene has people banging coconuts pretending to ride a horse. I will say the ending of the movie, though, is pretty stupid. Cops pull up and arrest them. That's just dumb. That's just really dumb. Have you seen Monty Python at least?
Yes, I've seen Monty Python. What are you talking about?
Well, you didn't see Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Have you seen Pretty Woman?
No.
Your mother would hate you. That's like her favorite movie.
Never even actually heard of Pretty Woman.
Oh. So do we have an upset here?
I hope so.
I said Pretty Woman could potentially make a huge run. Like, these brackets are hard. Like, because you don't know who's all going to be voting, the age group of the people who are going to be voting, men or women. I know you send it out on your Snapchat to get people to vote, so who the hell knows? So this was 64 to 36%. Of course a 12 is beating a 5. Of course. Monty Python moves on to take on the winner of the 413 of Casino and the Hateful Eight. Now, I thought this one was going to be pretty easy. I don't think a lot of people know the movie The Hateful Eight, but it's a really good movie. Basically, the entire movie takes place in a cabin over the course of a couple days. It's got a Western theme to it. And, yeah, you know, they don't trust each other. They don't like each other. You know, there's some alliances that form. You know, Casino, typical mob movie, of course. Robert De Niro, of course. Joe Pesci, you know, Casino. Good movie. Good movie. So, do we got an upset here?
Probably not. Again, I've only seen one of the movies, so...
And I'm sure it wasn't The Hateful Eight.
No, I saw Casino. I sat right next to you when I watched it.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, we were watching a different movie, and that came on next, and you told me to watch it, so I did.
Wow. Did you like it?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
thought it was pretty good.
Well, this had the largest majority at 95%. Casino moves on. Now we have an interesting matchup of two cult classics. And these are two cult classics. We got the 3-seed Clue. Who the hell doesn't like the movie Clue? If you don't like the movie Clue, I don't like you. Yes, it is basically based off the board game.
It's your very ever typical mansion mystery.
Yes.
Mansion murder mystery is what you want to call it.
Yes. And it has the song Shaboom in it.
That it does.
That should be enough to win right there. Shaboom, shaboom. Yada-da-da-da-da-da-da, shaboom, shaboom. But I had it going up against another cult classic. Everybody loves Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Now, obviously, when I say Willy Wonka, I'm talking about this one from the 70s, not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from, 10 years ago.
That's like 15, maybe even 18 years ago there, buddy.
Whatever. Is it really? Look that up. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So Willy Wonka, I think it came out in 74, 75, 76 with Charlie, Willy.
2005, 16.
Wow. I was such a youngin' back then.
You. I may have saw that in theaters.
I was a youngin'.
Actually, I probably did see that movie in the theater.
Probably. So, if I had a vote, I would have voted for Clue, of course. I mean, I could honestly say, this is the one pool where if I had a vote, I would vote for the higher seeds, because obviously these are my favorite movies. Right?
Yeah.
So, that just makes sense, even to a libtard. So, who do we got here? Clue or Willy Wonka? Which cult?
I'd probably vote for Willy Wonka, so I'm pulling for Willy Wonka.
Well, you are a bastard child, if you're mine.
I like Clue, but I like Willy Wonka.
You just like it when the fat kid gets stuck.
That's pretty funny. And what's her face becomes a blueberry.
Yeah. How? How could you like Willy Wonka over Clue?
I haven't seen the 70s one nearly as much as you have.
There is no way. No way you could come from my loins. 63-37 Willy Wonka moving on. You bastards, you people. Inception versus Grease. Now, Inception is one of those very difficult movies to understand. Leonardo DiCaprio. Basically implanting ideas in somebody's dream. It's every time I watch that movie, I learn a little more because it's a very confusing movie for me. That's one of the reasons why I like it. Going up against Grease, coming out of the 70s, Sandy, Danny, Summer Lovin', had me a blast. Summer Lovin' happened so fast. Yeah. Kinnicky, Rizzo, Sha-Na-Na, Hand Jive. You know. I didn't think this would be much of a contest. I figured we would have an upset here with Grease. Have you ever seen either of these movies?
No, but since Inception has DiCaprio, it's probably a pretty good movie.
It is. It's a really good movie.
See, I'd probably understand it a lot more than you would.
It's a confusing movie.
But no, I've never seen either.
82% Grease. Moving on.
That's not surprising, though.
No. Then we have Ready Player One against the 70s version of the Bad News Bears. Not the newer version with Billy Bob Thornton. The 70s version with Walter Matthau. I would make a great Mr. Buttermaker. I really would.
Okay.
I think I would make a really... I like to coach. For those of you that know me, I like to coach. I would make a good Mr. Buttermaker. Give the kids beer, you know. You gotta vote for a movie that's gonna have a 13-year-old riding a dirt bike and smoking cigarettes in the movie. Yes. The 70s version of Bad News Bears, I'm shocked they still let it on TV. Especially when, what's his name, you know, calls people spics and every other non-politically correct name. But it's Chico Bail Bonds. I mean, come on, it's the Bad News Bears. The worst team in the league. And then they lose in the title match, and how do they celebrate with beer? Come on. Going up against Ready Player One, which is a really good movie, especially if you like video games.
If you don't like if you're not a video game nerd, I don't know if you'd really like it.
It's a cool movie. It's a cool concept.
Yeah, the concept of a video game being basically real life. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yes. Now, normally, the only time I vote, since I can't see the results until voting is over, nobody can see the results for voting is over, neither me. The only time I vote is when there's an even number of votes with 1 minute to go, so I know there won't be a tie. Well, I was busy, so I didn't get a chance to look at 1 minute to go. This vote ended up in a tie. So we flipped a coin. Ready Player One won the coin flip. So Ready Player One is moving on. By the way, I nailed the last video game that they were trying to figure out. For those of you who are my age, I nailed that video game.
I know what video game it is.
Well, obviously, because you've seen the movie.
No, just Google it and you can play it.
Let's just say it's not Call of Duty.
You are bad at Call of Duty.
Just say it's not Call of Duty.
Too many accesses for you.
And then we got the 2 vs. 15 Unforgiven, awesome Western movie with Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman. Again, Searching for Bobby Fischer. Probably none of you have ever seen Searching for Bobby Fischer. It's a movie about chess, not chests. It's a movie about chess. But it's a really good movie. 70s movie. I'm just going to say it. Unforgiven won with 88%. That wasn't much of a shock. So, in the second round, we have... We have Fast Times at Ridgemont High going up against The Purge. We got Monty Python and the Holy Grail going up against Casino. That could be interesting. We got Willy Wonka going up against Grease. That'll be really interesting. We got Ready Player One going up against Unforgiven. I don't think that'll be too interesting. But that's me. So now down to the other bracket. We got Miracle against Revenge of the Nerds. A movie about the non-genetically proven son. Revenge of the Nerds. Movie all about the United States Olympic hockey team from 1980 that beat those bastardly Russians after getting crushed by them right before the Olympics started 10-3. Nobody back then. What?
They beat the Soviets.
Well, the Russians. That was synonymous back then.
The Soviet Union was not just Russia, though.
No, it wasn't, but that's what we called them, the Russians. We didn't call them the Soviets. I mean, we did, but they were the Russians.
Yeah, we did. In the movie,
you weren't alive back then.
In the movie, they call them the Soviets.
But that's in the movie. We're talking about what's going on in reality, babe. Get with the program. Get out of the 60s. Going up against Revenge of the Nerds, another typical teenage, college-ish movie. Revenge of the Nerds went to Adams College, and they had to face the Alpha Betas. Very funny movie. Very, very funny movie. I saw Bush. That's all. We got Bush. That nerd saw me naked. You've never seen Revenge of the Nerds, have you?
No, I have not.
Watch Revenge of the Nerds. Watch it. You'll laugh your ass off.
Okay.
Watch it. So, I said that there could be an upset here. Because I don't know how many people are going to see Miracle, but, you know, if you're just voting, oh, Revenge of the Nerds, that sounds like that could be a pretty funny movie. You know, Revenge of the Nerds. You know, let's face it, you know, I know a lot of nerds watch this show because y'all want to be cool like me.
Okay.
You know, you don't see me going to band camp in 9 days.
All right.
So, do you think we have a 16 upset here?
No.
I'll tell you right now, it's 53-47. It was close.
That's great.
What?
That's great. We didn't have an upset, though.
Miracle moving on. By the way, is there anything going on in the comments section since I can't see it right now because I'm doing this?
No, there's not.
Okay. Then we got one of my favorite movies from the 80s, Young Guns, against Bad Teacher. From, 10 years ago or so.
I believe it's like that might be about right.
8 years ago.
2011.
Hey, 10 years ago. I got one right. Young Guns, Western. Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland. About not very truthful story about Billy the Kid, although some of it was truthful. The Regulators of Lincoln County. Against Bad Teacher, she tries to save up money for a boob job. Yeah.
That she does.
Yeah. Very funny movie, though. Very funny. Very funny. Think we got an upset here?
Well, again, I've only ever seen one of the movies, so yes.
Which one have you seen?
I've seen Bad Teacher.
You've never watched Young Guns with me?
No, but I've seen Bad Teacher probably like 10 times. I think it's hilarious.
You've really never seen Young Guns with me?
No.
I've watched Young Guns many, many times. Okay. 57%, 43% Bad Teacher. Moving on.
Just don't watch Bad Teacher on TV. They block out like everything that's funny.
Well, yes. Of course. Now, this one I basically guaranteed the upset.
Yeah. Even though number 5's a lot better of a movie.
Yes. Yes. Valkyrie is such a good movie. Would you, for those that didn't watch the preview show when we did this, explain what Valkyrie is?
Valkyrie was the attempt to assassinate Hitler in the Wolf's Lair, which is where basically his headquarters was. The Nazi headquarters for strategy, you could call it. So one of his officers was in it to kill him, and there was a lot of them, and then when they killed him, they were going to activate Operation Valkyrie to basically take over the country.
Right, which there actually was an Operation Valkyrie. If something happened to Hitler, Operation Valkyrie was supposed to go into effect. So, like, it was an actual plan. Like, so the plot to try to kill him wasn't called Valkyrie. Valkyrie was the plan in case if something happened to Hitler. Very good movie, Tom Cruise. Very good, very factual movie.
And the bomb did go off, and Hitler survived pretty easily.
Yes. It's amazing how many times there was an assassination attempt on him, and he was never assassinated.
There was over 50.
Yeah, it's amazing. But if you've never seen Valkyrie, take 2 hours and watch the movie. It is good. Especially if you like history, like we do.
I've seen both versions of Valkyrie.
Yes,
so.
me too. Me too. I'll admit the one that's in German is a little hard to follow.
A little, but it's done in a way better.
It is. It is. I'll never forget, I've only ever seen the German one once, and I was scrolling through the channels one day, and I'm like, ooh, Valkyrie's coming on, and then it was in German. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But I watched it, of course. So going up against National Treasure, yes, Nicolas Cage. I will say at least I picked the better National Treasure movie.
That's really the only good one.
Yes, the first one is much better than the second one. But it's a well-known movie. You know, they got to steal the Declaration of Independence. Well, they don't have to. They choose to. Because they're trying to find treasure. Because there was a hidden treasure map on the back of the Declaration of Independence. So, as I said, as much as I would have loved to seen Valkyrie move on, I basically guaranteed this was going to be an upset. And 70-30, National Treasure did move on. Most unfortunate. The next one I basically guaranteed was going to be an upset as well. The 4 seed Runaway Jury against number 13 Bad Santa. So Runaway Jury came out a long time ago. John Cusack, Gene Hackman. Basically about the science behind picking a jury. Doing illegal activities. It was a case of somebody shot up a business, and one of the people that were killed, the guy's wife, sued the gun manufacturer. So it went to court. And, you know, that you try to stack the jury against people who were sympathetic for either side. And Dustin Hoffman is in it. He plays the plaintiff's lawyer. It's a really, really good movie. But it's going up against Bad Santa, a comedy with Billy Bob Thornton playing Santa. Have you seen Bad Santa?
I've seen parts of it.
I'm sure you haven't seen Runaway Jury.
No, I have not.
No. So basically, because it's a comedy, I guaranteed the upset. 89% Bad Santa. Moving on. Bad Santa, moving on. Then we got the kids' favorite movie. Joker. Going up against The Godfather. If you look,
you had to put it up against probably one of the most popular movies of all time.
A lot of websites will call it the most popular movie of all time. But see, the thing is, I know how much you like Joker but you like it because it's up in your major. I don't think people pick up on all the things that you picked up on in this movie.
This is true.
So I think I could have put it up.
A lot of different, because there was one thing at the end of the movie that I mentioned with the stairs that you would have never noticed.
Right. Yes, I noticed. You saw the crack in the stairs.
Sure.
Yeah.
I understand the way it was shot. And understand all the little nicks, like even the clock on the wall that wasn't even moving over the movie because it wasn't real.
Yes. See, so, like, if I put it up against Bad Santa, it would have got crushed. If I put it up against National Treasure, it would have got crushed.
Right.
So, at least I put it up against a 70s movie that probably most of the people that vote didn't see.
Possibly.
I mean, if people my age voted, yeah, they probably seen The Godfather, but did they really like The Godfather? I mean, yeah, you go to these websites that, say it's the best movie ever made, but again, these are cinema people that are voting on that kind of stuff.
I mean, people say Citizen Kane's the best ever.
Yeah.
It's all right.
62-38, though The Godfather did win.
Unfortunate. Uncultured swines.
Yeah. So then this was another upset that I guarantee. We got the 6th seed Wall Street. Now don't get confused. It's not Wolf of Wall Street. Not Wolf of Wall Street. Wall Street. So we're talking about the 80s with Charlie Sheen and Michael Douglas. Greed is good. Greed is good. Going up against Back to the Future. Alex P. Keaton from his, Family Ties days. Christopher Lloyd. Everybody likes Back to the Future. You've even seen Back to the Future.
I've seen them all. I've seen 1 and 2 probably at least 10 times each.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure you haven't seen Wall Street.
No.
So basically, Wall Street's really about insider trading in the stock market. When you hear me say, when we're talking about the Phatts Fantastic Five, when I say Blue Horseshoe loves Endicott Steel, that's out of Wall Street.
Isn't insider trading illegal?
Yes. Yes. Blue Horseshoe loves Endicott Steel. That comes right out of that movie. But I guaranteed the upset here, and 91-9%. Back to the Future.
Well, that was hard to figure out.
Then we got an interesting matchup that I didn't know how this one was going to go. We got the one Star Wars movie, Rogue One, which isn't the, if you're going to rank popular Star Wars movie from most popular to least popular, you're not going to have Rogue One towards the top. It'll probably
I don't understand your fascination with Rogue One. I really don't.
I just like the movie.
Because I'm the one that actually likes the new ones. Maybe because I didn't grow up with the old ones. I think the new ones are, well, again, I probably appreciate them for their cinematics.
Yes.
The stories, it's alright. Yeah, I don't understand your fascination with this movie. Some of the parts of it are pretty cool, but I thought it was really long and drug out, actually. It is like a 3-hour movie.
Yes, and when we saw it in the movie theaters, we both agreed that it started off slow, but the second half of the movie was really good.
Yeah, the first hour really didn't need to be there, to be honest.
Going up against one of the funnier sports movies ever made. But again, it's from the 70s, so how many people have seen this? And that's Slapshot. Hockey movie. Paul Newman. The Hanson triplets. A lot of fighting. So basically, Paul Newman is player coach, and he kind of starts a rumor that the team is getting sold and moving to Florida so he could try to draw more fans for their last season. The movie was filmed at like the Johnstown War Memorial Building back in the day. So I didn't know what to expect of this one, but it was 60-40 with Rogue One.
Okay.
And the last one, another one that I said would probably be an upset, Midway against Dirty Dancing. Now, Midway was
really good war movie.
Midway was the original from the 70s, which
The one from the 70s is almost better, actually.
I think it's much better because it tells the truer story. Where the other one is just action, a lot of blowing up things and stuff.
So it depends what you like. Do you like the history? Or do you like just boom?
Yes. And the one from the 70s shows real war footage.
That it does.
Now, not necessarily from the Battle of Midway, but it does have real war footage from the movie. Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey. I'd have banged her back in the day. She was pretty. But yeah, I guarantee. I said I felt that this one was going to be an upset, and 55-45, Dirty Dancing did move on. Okay. So we got a lot of upsets in this bracket. So moving on, we have Miracle against Bad Teacher. I think Miracle's days are numbered.
I don't know. See, I really like Miracle.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So do I. Interesting one here. National Treasure against Bad Santa.
I abstain.
Now, what would have been better is if I had National Treasure against Back to the Future. That would have been interesting. But we got
those would just be two movies that everyone just turns on because it's on.
Yes. But we got The Godfather against Back to the Future. I don't think this will be much of a contest.
I think The Godfather's days are numbered.
Yes. I could see Back to the Future coming out of this bracket now. I really can. Then we got Rogue One against Dirty Dancing.
Sorry, Rogue One.
See, I'm thinking Dirty Dancing, maybe in the upset here. Interesting. All right, so let's very quickly, in about 5 minutes, just look at the matchups for the right side of the bracket, and then we will call it a night. And then just look for me listing when voting is open for them. Or actually, I'll just read them off. I don't need to show them. So, in the upper right side of the bracket, we got the number 1 seed versus the number 16 seed. The Wolf of Wall Street versus the Karate Kid.
You put 16 seed as the Karate Kid?
Yeah.
It's a little rude.
Why? Just because the main character has your name?
Actually, I like the Karate Kid, but I also like the Karate Kid 2.
Got ya. Let me tell you a story. So there's a couple kids now that I'm coaching right now for bowling.
Yeah.
So I did a video coaching on Monday night with one of them, and just talking about stuff what I want them to work on this week with the football drills. So I asked them. I said, did you work with the football at all yet? And they said yes. I said, okay. I said, show me paint the fence. And they just like, what? What? And I said, show me sand the floor. And then like the dad was there, and the dad pops up and says, here, look. So they took their phone and put on that. It was wearing a Cobra Kai t-shirt.
That's a pretty good one.
So I said, I did. I said, always look at I. Look at I. Always look at I.
Did you have them wax the car then too?
They were at a car wash earlier in the day, and he did say they were trying to figure out how to do wax on, wax off. Let's just hope and pray the Wolf of Wall Street wins. I will be pissed if the Karate Kid.
Leaving.
Yeah, I'm not fucking leaving. No way. I'm not fucking leaving. The Hunt for Red October versus Pulp Fiction, the 8-9 seed. I think this is an upset. This has upset written all over it. I don't think many people have watched The Hunt for Red October or.
I could have an idea what it's about.
Okay.
Other than that, about it.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but it's probably about the Soviet Union in some way or communism.
Yes, it's actually it's another historical movie about this submarine that was basically built, just as a war machine, and the captain defected to the United States, and the Soviets were actually trying to hunt down this submarine to destroy it. They're trying to destroy their own submarines. Pretty good. Pulp Fiction, bunch of short stories. Forrest Gump against Animal House, 5/12. As much as I like Animal House, I actually, if you remember correctly, had Forrest Gump winning this entire thing.
I just watched Forrest Gump not too long ago.
Did you?
Like 5 days ago, it was on at like midnight, so I turned it on.
Did you watch the whole damn 3 hours?
No, I think I got to maybe the end of the Vietnam War.
One of my buddies posted a picture of Jenny, the scene where she's on the bus as they're leaving D.C. and she's in the back of the bus and she looks out the back window and gives the peace sign to Forrest. And the caption says, "Oh yeah, sure, Jenny, you don't like Forrest until, he becomes a shrimp boat millionaire and you have this terminal disease and blah, 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 blah." So then it got into the debate on what she actually died of. And everybody thinks she died of AIDS, but actually I read somewhere that the writers never said what she died of, but it was actually hepatitis C. But of course, I put in my 2 cents and I said, dude, just go look at the death certificate. It clearly says COVID-19. Clearly says COVID-19.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Forrest Gump will beat Animal House, probably. Hoosiers against Field of Dreams, 2 sports movies. One is complete fantasy, Field of Dreams. One is semi-realistic, Hoosiers, when this town or this school that had, 4 people in it won the state title in basketball.
Probably Hoosiers, because even if people don't know what it is, they've heard of that movie.
Oh, everybody my age has heard of Field of Dreams. The Yankees are going to be playing the White Sox on the movie set, or they built this Field of Dreams. Next week.
Yeah, the cornfield.
Yeah, well, that's Field of Dreams.
There's an MLB The Show, the video game. There's a stadium called Cornfield.
Yeah. And
it's the Field of Dreams.
All right. 3 vs. 14, Tombstone against Taken. I just watched Tombstone last night again.
Good for you.
Another historical movie about the fight at the OK Corral with what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? It'll come to me. Wyatt Earp. Going up against Taken, about a guy who finds his kidnapped daughter. 6 vs. 11. Speaking of American Pie, I told you you'll hear American Pie again. What'd you do with that flute?
That's American Pie too.
I know. Going up against The Dark Knight, the best of the Batman movies.
Yeah, again, 2 really good movies you had to put next to each other, didn't you?
Dark Knight will win this.
You think?
It's Heath Ledger playing the Joker. It's not.
The only reason people like Dark Knight is because of Heath Ledger. That is literally the only reason that is a good movie.
Yes.
Imagine if he stayed alive and could have even played what Joaquin Phoenix did. Oh my God, would that have been even a better movie?
I don't know if he could have pulled off the role, though.
No, probably not.
I don't know how good Heath Ledger could have pulled off a depressed individual.
The going insane, depressed individual?
Yeah. Not quite sure. All right, so if people are only voting on movies that they've seen, the next one, Enemy of the State and the Outlaw Josie Wales, might get 3 votes.
Never heard of either.
Enemy of the State, Will Smith movie about the government spying, and The Outlaw Josie Wales is an early Clint Eastwood movie.
Oh, so one of them
Western.
is true.
Yes. And then we got Heavy Metal against Kingpin. Probably a lot of people haven't seen Heavy Metal either. It's a cartoon movie. It's similar to Pulp Fiction. It's a lot of short stories, but this is all cartoons. A lot of nudity in it, and all the girls have size 68 triple X breasts.
So you liked it when you were 12?
My mother actually allowed my brother to take me to the movie theater to see this when I was about 10.
I'm going to guess she did not know what the movie was about.
I'm going to guess she did not know. Yes.
You just said sure.
But I tell you what, for people that like classic rock, watch this movie because the soundtrack of this movie is awesome. Oh, goddamn, Whale number 1 made this show. Bottom half of the bracket, 1 verse 16, Goodfellas against Better Off Dead. Better Off Dead, John Cusack, funny movie. $2, I want my $2. Goodfellas, another historical movie about the mob. American Sniper versus The Quick and the Dead, 2 really good movies. I gotta think American Sniper is gonna win this.
Never actually seen American Sniper.
Oh, it's a really good movie.
I know what it's about,
Yes.
and I know that it's a completely true story, but I've never actually seen it.
It is a really good movie.
I've seen The Quick and the Dead somehow.
That's a really good movie too. That's about, well, another Gene Hackman, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sharon Stone, about gunfighting. And, you know, who's the best on the draw. Then we got Rocky versus Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Rocky should win that fairly easy.
Why'd you choose The Last Crusade?
Because that's my favorite Indiana Jones movie.
I thought we were picking the first one.
I don't really like the first one's all right, but I like The Last Crusade. That's my
Isn't it
favorite.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yes.
Or whatever?
Yes, it's all right. I like The Last Crusade because they're searching for the Grail.
The Holy Grail.
Then we got a couple interesting movies. Escape from Alcatraz. Unfortunately, probably no one has seen that movie.
I've seen it!
So I can't imagine it's going to win, but it's another historically accurate movie about...
Actually, I've probably seen it like 20 times. I really like that movie.
It is. It's a really good movie about the actual escape from Alcatraz when they escaped, and it's historically very factual. Unfortunately, it's probably going to lose to Me So Horny, Me Love You Long Time. $5. $5. Here's another movie that I like that's going to lose. The number 3 seed, 8 Men Out. Another historical movie about the Black Sox from 102 or 3 years ago when they threw the World Series against the Reds, going up against, remember, the Titans. Another kind of factually correct movie. It was like the integration of the schools actually did take place, and they did go undefeated, and they were number 2 in the USA Today high school football poll that year. But they didn't dominate teams the way that the movie makes out. Uncle Buck against Smokey and the Bandit. Interesting. 2 comedy movies. Uncle Buck, the late John Candy, gone before his time, unfortunately. Smokey and the Bandit.
There's no way.
No way. You come from my loins. Smokey and the Bandit, Jerry Reed, Jackie Gleason, Burt Reynolds. Eastbound and Down, Westbound and Down, Loaded Up and Truckin'. And then we got The Departed against John Wick. I gotta think John Wick is gonna win that.
Probably.
Fairly easy. And then we got Walk the Line against Falling Down. Another one, if people only vote by who've seen these movies, well, I might get 1 vote. Walk the Line is
about Johnny Cash.
Walk the Line is about Johnny Cash, and Falling Down is about a guy who's having a real bad day and decides to just start killing people.
Huh.
Yeah.
I might have to look that up.
It's a really good movie. Michael Douglas. Yep, yeah.
What's it called?
Falling Down.
Okay.
All right.
Came out in 93? Jeez.
I'm shocked it came out that late. I would have thought it was an 80s movie.
I think I've seen parts of this. Only at 73% Rotten Tomatoes. That's not exactly good. C. It's a C.
Yeah. All right, so look for the links on the Phatts TV Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, the Non-Genetically Proven Son's Facebook page, his Snapchat. If you follow him on Snapchat, we'll get that out there. We'll probably do a show probably Tuesday, I would say. Maybe Wednesday. It'll either be definitely Tuesday or Wednesday, but right now I'm leaning more towards Tuesday. So get your votes in and see who wins and moves on to the round of 32. Okay? So that's our show for tonight. You got any departing words?
Don't screw with me on Facebook. Because I'll just try to piss you off and it's funny.
Okay. Mom always said, don't play ball in the house. Remember to tip your waiters and waitresses. We will see you. Have a great weekend and whatever you decide to do. I will be hitting the coaching trail all day Saturday. I got 2 places to go. Going south and then going north. So, have a good one, everybody. Say goodbye to the ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye to the nice people. Well, bye.